Fine.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi. Hi. Fine. So I request you all to mute yourself until unless you have some question to ask. Okay, I can hear some noise. Praveen. Okay, fine, done. Okay, fine. So let me introduce myself. Myself, Laxman. I am into this ERP applications, especially on financials and project accounting from last 10 years. And I was working as a full-time employee earlier with the different organizations. Later, I stopped working, and I'm working as a full-time trainer, and I do some freelancing work. So, okay, that is my profile all about. And when I talk about my Fusion Financials experience, I've been working on Fusion Financial from last 2.5 years. Okay, so when I say I'm working on Fusion Financials from last 2.5 years, it's all about freelancing work. Okay, some if require, I'll just travel to client site. I'll be just delivering the solution, whatever the engagements I'll be having. That model of work I'm doing. Other side, I do supporting and offshore related activities, and majorly I'm into training. Fine, done. So let's get started into our demo session. Okay, fine. Here, uh, one second here. Fine. So this is the demo agenda we have for today. So we'll talk about, okay, what is Oracle Fusion applications, and what are the different models we have when we are implementing the Fusion applications. Means what are the options are available from Oracle. The third point will be understanding what is the enterprise structure in the Fusion application environment. And the fourth one is we'll understand very high level what is the org structure for in Fusion applications. Okay, how that entire Fusion applications can be managed. The org structure will be understanding, and the next point here is Fusion data conversions. We know, like in EBS, we know how we do the data conversion, how that is totally different in Fusion applications. We'll see that. Since that is a big change, I just mentioned to talk about few points about data conversion. And the next one is scope for technical resource in the Fusion applications. Okay, we know, like in EBS, the technical people also will play the very major role along with the functional. But what is the scope for technical resource in Fusion application, that we'll be discussing based on this point. And next one is rapid implementation. What is the meaning of rapid implementation? What is the approach Oracle given here to do the rapid implementation? And finally, we'll discuss about our course curriculum. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. Apart from this, if anybody wants to understand anything, you can just let me know. You can ask me directly, or you can just type in the chat window that I can take into the agenda. We can talk about it, but I'll be taking that once we're done with this. Okay, we'll talk about these agenda, whatever just I plan to discuss with you guys today. So then I'm ready to take up whatever queries we have, and we'll be discussing. And in between, whenever I'm explaining, also you can post your questions. We can discuss on that. Okay. First, let's talk about ERP products. As we know, we have many ERP products in the market. Out of that, when you look into the key products, key ERP vendors are key ERP products. As we know, from Oracle, we have a EBS, from JD Edwards, Siebel, PeopleSoft, SAP. Okay, so these many ERP, just a few I just noted here. When we have multiple ERP products, okay, when we have multiple ERP products, if any company, okay, if any company is going to do the implementation, okay, here just let's talk about few points. I'll be writing the same here. We are trying to understand the first point as Oracle Fusion application. I can hear some noise. Sorry. Yeah, please. Thanks. Okay. Let's try to understand what is this Fusion applications. Okay. So to understand this point, we'll take into this point. Okay, see, we have different ERP products. When you look into these ERP products, when you look into the solutions which these products are offering, so each product, okay, each product has some specialization with respect to the business processes. Okay, so when you look into this Oracle, okay, you talk about Oracle EBS. Okay, Oracle EBS is well specialized for financials. And I take in here another product called as JD Edwards. Okay, JD Edwards is good for procurement movements and even for some finance area also. And we have other one, say Siebel. It is well specialized product for the business area of CRM, customer relationship management. And we have other ERP product called as PeopleSoft. This is a very good product for HR movements, say HCM, human capital management. Okay, and again we have SAP. Comparatively, SAP is good for the SD, sales and distribution. So if you take list of different ERP products, definitely you will be finding one or maybe two, or not more than three, four, five specialized areas are well specialized. Okay, so from EBS, financials is good. I mean, for financials we have a very good solution. From JD Edwards we have a good solution for procurement. For Siebel is the best solution for CRM movements, and PeopleSoft for HCM, SAP for SD. But if any company is going to opt this ERP solution, the big question is which ERP product they have to choose. It's a very big question nowadays. Okay, so in that case, if they go with Oracle EBS, they can get best solution for financials. What about procurement? What about CRM, HCM, SD if they have such kind of business process they're running in their company? And if they go with the JD Edwards, they can get best piece out of procurement process, and rest solutions also available from JD Edwards that those may not be that much effective when you compare with other ERP products. So nowadays what companies they are doing is, what is their primary focus, what is their core business, accordingly they are choosing the best ERP. If the organization more into a financial process or financial system management and all, then they'll choose Oracle EBS. So more the organization more into procurement activities, they choose JD Edwards. Along with that, they'll be opting uh, other areas of product. I mean modules also from the same product. Since it will be, I mean, if some company wants to pick this best areas from the different products, they have to invest a lot and they have to maintain the resource with respect to technology, and it will become big challenge for IT team. So that is reason, just you can see, maybe if you, yeah, you can see some companies where they already deployed from the different products, but that is a big challenge, and they have to invest a lot maintenance cost and resource. They have technical resource deployment or functional, and they have to pay the license fee or maintenance to the respective vendors. So that kind of challenge we have. Okay, and at the same time, this is just one point I want to share with you. Now what Oracle it is, uh, I mean, this is a case which is there in the market, which we can see in the market. Later what Oracle it is, Oracle start acquiring all key ERP products in the market. So as we know, like Oracle is owning the ERP EBS product, and other than EBS, Oracle started acquiring the different products. If you see the slide, you can just understand. Just I taken few product for this demonstration. See here, these are the different ERP products. Oracle acquired all these products. Anyway, JD Edwards Oracle acquired. Since there is a best solution for procurement, PeopleSoft Oracle acquired it. Now it became Oracle PeopleSoft. Within this we have a HCM solutions, HR solution, and Oracle acquired the Siebel, that became Oracle Siebel. From Siebel we have a best solution for CRM, and as we know, this EBS is owned by Oracle only, and Oracle acquired Hyperion. Hyperion is, as we know, it's a best reporting tool which has a great capabilities for reporting and planning, budgeting point of view. And other, see, I'm not saying Hyperion is the ERP product. I'm saying this is one of the enterprise solution along with this ERP products. And other acquisition is Primavera. Okay, for project management related solutions, it's the best product in the market that also Oracle acquired. Now this we call as Oracle Primavera. Along with that, I just mentioned few products. Other than this, many other products and technologies Oracle acquired. Okay, and it is a technical and product based and technology based many acquisitions taken place. So what Oracle it is here, they taken, okay, from EBS they taken financials, and from JD Edwards they taken procurement solution. From Siebel they taken the CRM solution. From PeopleSoft they taken HCM, and from Hyperion they taken the reporting. Okay, this is how whatever the products they acquired. Okay, we are not talking too much on technology, but it's not much relevant to us since we are talking about this functional course. So I'm talking about only functional related products. Okay, so they acquired all those products. From all those products, what is the best business solutions available from the respective product? All they selected, they picked all into different products. Okay, with the combination of this product, okay, Oracle, build an application called as Fusion Applications. Okay, now Fusion Applications means when you just, if any client is going to implement Fusion Applications, just we can understand for every area of their business solutions, they are going to have a better system, the best system in the market. Okay, so this is how like Oracle applications are built. It's all about, it's not like completely they from scratch they didn't build. So just they taken respective solutions from the different ERP products, and they just integrated, and ultimately they built application. Ultimately they came up with a solution called as Fusion Applications. So this is all about to understand what Fusion Applications all about it. If anybody has any question, you can ask me, we'll discuss about it. Any question here? Okay, fine. I can see one question here in chat window. Election from my knowledge, how can Oracle financially good when we compare with SAP or other ERPs? Yeah, see, you just, that's what, that is a point we are discussing, how best Oracle financial is good when we compare with the SAP or other ERPs. Because other than SAP, the key ERP players in the market all are acquired by Oracle. Now, if you opt Oracle Fusion Solutions, Fusion product, you are going to have a best solution for your business operations for each and every business area or each and every business functions which you'll be doing in your organization. Okay, if you go with SAP, yes, maybe SD is a very sound area, okay, which is very best solution for the client as per client requirements or as per the business process. But if you go and opt this Fusion Applications from EBS, since they're taken financials, that is the best solutions anyway as in the market. And if your organization needs solution for CRM, customer relationship management, then already the Siebel solution is available as a part of Fusion Applications. And if you are looking for HR solutions, PeopleSoft, anyway, it's there as a part of Fusion Applications. You don't need to worry about it. The best reporting capabilities we have Hyperion and JD Edwards for procurement operations and all we have. But for each and every product related or area related licensing, you don't need to take. If you take license for Fusion Applications for respective areas, this as a one, just you can take a, you don't need to take separate license. These all are inbuilt within the Fusion Applications. Okay, that's how it's better than all existing ERPs. Okay, we will understand few more points also. Those may answer to your further questions, whatever you may get. Okay, done. So this is all about Fusion Applications, all about it. Okay, fine. Then the other point here is, the next point is fusion implementation models. Yep, thanks. The fusion implementation models. Okay, when you talk about Oracle fusion implementation models, okay, what it's all about it. So any company is going to implement Oracle Fusion applications, what are the different high level options are available? When they go with a detail level also, what are the different adoptions can be possible for the customers which are available from the Oracle? So here basically we have the primary classification. Okay, very primary classification would be the deployment. I mean, if any company is going to implement Fusion applications, okay, they can go with, one is on-premise, second one is cloud. Okay, on-premise and cloud. So that means it's all about where they can deploy the server, whether they can deploy the server on their premises or they want to deploy the server in the cloud base. What it's all about, it we'll talk about it. The basic, okay, models are, one is on-premise, the second option is cloud. We know on-premise means. So on-premise means when in the 11i or R12, okay, most of the implementation takes place on-premise. On-premise in the sense, what happens, the I mean, our client has to buy the complete server infrastructure. They have to deploy the resource, technical resource will take care of the server and the network and many other technical areas. Okay, and I mean to say DBAs and the network, okay, and administrator and everything they have to get. Finally, they have to get that license from the Oracle and they have to install and they have to take care of maintenance, and if any kind of patching etc., that has to be done by our client team only, and if any upgrades also, that also should be handled by client team. And here the issue is, I mean, the benefit is security. Since we are maintaining our server, okay, there will be less risk when we talk about the business data, right? So that's all about on-premise. In case of on-premise, client has to buy the server infrastructure. They have to get the technical resource like DBA and administrators technical resource, and they have to take the license for the product, and the installation should be done by the client resource only. And when they are using that application, okay, when they are using that application, the time, like if any support required from Oracle, the patching etc., some technical work need to be done by Oracle. But one advantage is we can have a data security. The second advantage is we can do the customizations. Okay, we'll have a complete rights on that application, since that we deployed in our server, okay, which is a physical server. When you talk about cloud, what it's all about cloud. So the cloud means we are not going to maintain any system, we are not going to maintain any product, okay, which is implemented for our organization in physical servers. Okay, we are not going to maintain any product in the physical servers. All the products, or I'll say, like, we are not going to have a physical server. Let me say in this way. Okay, we are not going to have any physical servers. We'll be having the servers, but those will be virtual servers. Okay, physical server means that should reside in some location, right? Say in India or else US or UAE, somewhere it should be resided. But when you talk about cloud, on-premise means that should be physical server. But in case of cloud, it's not going to be physical server. This would be virtual server. Where virtual servers can be located? Virtual servers can be located as internet as a source. So you can think, okay, you can think or you can find your server always will be there as a source of internet. That means if you have internet connectivity, okay, immediate you can connect then and there itself. So if you are just maintaining your server, say in US, and you are sitting in India or some other country, if you are accessing, definitely there will be some performance issues, or session should be established again, request should go to the server since it's there somewhere. Okay, and again response time, it may take some time, there will be some performance issues and all. But if you are going to maintain your server internet as a source with a technology, I mean technique called as cloud computing, okay, so your server will be always wherever you are going to be with internet connectivity. So that's what we call as a cloud. Okay, so that means we are not going to maintain the physical server. Our servers will be maintained as a virtual servers. Who will take care of the servers? The cloud computing companies. Cloud computing companies, what they do is they will create virtual servers. However, generally we just we'll see, when we are going to have a physical servers, we'll go with certain configuration, right? In the same way, we will have a certain, with the configuration we'll have a physical server, within that we'll be installing the application. Without having that kind of physical hardware, okay, what you can do is your software can be installed into virtual servers which will be created virtually by cloud computing companies. How they will create, we don't need to get into that too much, but simple point here is they'll be having the big missions. Those missions will have a capability of generating the virtual servers, okay, which will have a internet as a source. The cloud computing companies can generate the virtual servers as per our requirement. Then however you install, however you access to your on-premise instance, in the same way you'll be able to install your products if required. Anything you want to install into that, or any changes you want to do, or any configuration you want to do, any operations you want to do, however you use your on-premise instance, in the same model you will be able to access and you can work on your cloud instance based product. Whatever you have in the cloud environment, to that you can connect and you can do whatever activities you want to perform. Okay, that's how the cloud will help us. And there are many advantages also that I'll be just take you through on slide, you can understand those points. Okay, that's all about on-premise and cloud. If anybody has any question here, please, we'll discuss and we'll go to next step. The simple point here I'm trying to say is we have a two models. One is on-premise and other one is cloud. Nowadays with the fusion, most of the clients are opting for cloud. Most of the client. If you see, like say there are 100 clients who are using the fusion applications nowadays, you can see 99% of the clients are opting cloud only. There are some advantages. Okay, fine. So done. So no question, I can see here. Done. Okay. So now on-premise and cloud. Again in the cloud we have a different options. Okay, within the cloud we have a different options. Just I'll take you through the slide, you can understand it. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, this is all about on-premise and cloud. Let's look into the what are the advantages, how these two are different. Okay, how these two are different. I just have one slide here, I'll take you through that. Okay, so on-premise servers and the cloud servers. See, on-premise servers, it will be residing in your office or some data center, but when you talk about cloud servers, it will be residing as internet source. Based on the term, the representation, they kept the servers also in the real cloud. Okay, done. So here let's talk about what's the difference between these cloud platforms and on-premise platforms. It's all about cloud server and on-premise server. If any client is going to opt cloud or on-premise, how things will work, we'll see that. First we'll see on-premise applications. If you have on-premise applications, okay, so capex, your capital expense also you have to invest, okay, in advance. First you have to invest for that. Okay, and customer owned upgrades. Okay, customer, if our client is have a, I mean, if our client is running say R12 on premise, generally most of the clients are running on R12 on premise only. If our client is running the R12 instance, R12 application server as on premise, okay, in that case they have to invest for that infrastructure and upgrade, any upgrade from one version to from older version to latest version, that also should take care by this client only. Okay, or else of course they may take some support from some consulting company. Finally, that cost burden goes to customer only. And patching also should be done by client team. DBA should do it. So here itself, I'll try to compare with cloud. So in upfront, you no need to invest too much if you go with the cloud. How we'll discuss in the next slide. Just I'll run through the slide. We'll discuss. And customer owned upgrades and all patching. Okay, this is applicable in few cases. Few cases it's not applicable. So where and all we'll be discussing. That also we have as one point. So here, if you go with the cloud, Oracle will take care of your upgrades, and patching work also will be done by Oracle only. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to get DBA. Okay, the patching and the auto upgrades also will taken care by Oracle itself. And data centers hardware costs, including the disaster recovery, etc., you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to contact any data centers and all. If you are going to opt cloud solution, okay, the cloud solution will be having the data center or whatever you call, all these logics they'll be having as a part of cloud computing only. And costly customizations, okay, and maintenance. Yes, okay, here we have to go with the costly customizations. Of course, if really require the customization may be costly or cheap, we should go with the customization, okay, in on-premise or cloud. Anyway, that would be there. Again, maintenance and all, okay. And even in the Fusion also, I mean, cloud also, the maintenance definitely require. Compared to this, that is a less that they're talking about it. And annual support cost, and you can just look into some other points also, okay. uh, so if you are using outdated software, which will be resulting the some benefit, some business benefits and all, but definitely if you are not on the cloud base, that would be one of the negative aspect which you see in the business, until unless you upgrade to latest version. And other thing is, if you are running your server on premise environment, you have to manage your own network and your security, etc. Everything you should that should be taken care by your team only. Okay, so and annual cost, etc. So these are the very known points for us. This is how the on-premise environment will be working, where client will be involving and incurring the cost, and things will happen. Now let's look into the cloud. Okay, if somebody is going to opt this cloud solution, cloud applications, see, when you talk about Fusion applications, they can go with on-premise, where they can take the license and they can install in their server, and they can manage it. Otherwise, directly for to avail this features of Fusion applications or solution, they can go with the cloud application. Okay, that point also will be discussing. Okay, how cloud and some applications are different, that again we'll touch that. So in this case, if any client is going for choosing cloud applications, the flexibility is they can take rent or lease based. Okay, they can pay as per they use, or as per based on their users. They may not buy the license. It's not mandatory. There are options. You may buy, you may not buy. Just take subscription of the cloud application, where Oracle will take care of everything. Just get implement. Just you can, as per a requirement, you can implement that product, and once that is done, okay, you can start using, and you can pay based on the subscription what you are opting. What are the different subscriptions or options are available? That also we'll be discussing in the next slide. So that is the one option. And the security and everything, they'll take care of it. Okay, and if Oracle is going to do the upgrades, so no upgrade, but latest functionality via regular releases, automatically upgrade will take place. And this is how it's going to be benefited. Okay, so these all kind of challenges or what investments you can ignore when you move to the cloud applications. Okay, if any question here, you can ask me, we'll discuss. Okay, so that's how cloud is different from on-premise applications. Okay, now, okay, it's a simple, like it's all about on-premise and cloud. Now let's look into this cloud with detail level. Within the cloud, what are the different options Oracle is offering? See this slide. Okay, as a cloud services or cloud options or adoptions, so we have three options here. One is SaaS, other one is PaaS, other one is IaaS. Okay, so what these services all about it? Already we discussed what is the cloud. Okay, cloud in the sense it's all about we are not going to maintain the physical server. We'll be having the virtual server, which is managed by cloud computing company. However, we use physical servers in the same way you can use the virtual servers. There are certain limitations, again, that depends on which option you are choosing, that also we'll discuss. Okay, within the cloud we have these three options: SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So let's look into those points. Okay, so here, cloud options. Fine. So here we have three. One is SaaS. Okay, SaaS stands for software as a service. Software as a service. Here what it's all about it. When you talk about software as a service, see, what you can do is you can take the license, or else you can take the subscription from Oracle to use Fusion applications by you may opt SaaS model. If you opt SaaS model, okay, you can get the, I mean, whatever subscription you are having, accordingly you can get access. But only the limitation here is, in SaaS model, Oracle won't allow you to do the customizations. Small size of customization, developing the new report or writing the simple, doing the simple personalizations, all can be done. If you want to develop altogether new functionality by using the forms, generally in EBS we use forms, here everything ADF. In Fusion environment, everything will be running through ADF only. If you want to do some kind of customizations where you'll be writing some, you will be creating some, you will be developing some ADF forms, and all those are not allowed. Okay, so completely all type of customizations are not allowed. Okay, there are limitations. If you want to develop your own future, if you look into EBS 11 or R12 based on business requirement, we'll be developing the new forms, right, which will be involved, which will be part of some business process, or you may create altogether new application also, right? That is possible in EBS. But when you choose cloud solution with the option called as SaaS, in the SaaS model what happens is customizations are not allowed. What are the standard product Oracle is providing, that you can use as per your requirement, and small customizations always allowed. Developing the reports and just doing the small size, I mean, kind of personalizations are allowed, but forms development, that kind of activities cannot be done in the SaaS model. Okay, and other, this is the one disadvantage. And other big advantage is, if you are running on current version, later if Oracle is going to release new version, you don't need to worry about it. If since you are going to be in the SaaS model, automatically your system will get upgraded. Even Oracle won't have any challenge to do that, since there are no customization, since standard product. Okay, auto upgrade can be possible. That is the reason Oracle is not allowing, okay, the customers to do any customization in the SaaS model. Okay, so just think most of the implementations are happening on this model only. Okay, and other point, this is all about SaaS. And we have other option called as PaaS. Okay, PaaS. Here PaaS in the sense it's all about platform as a service. Platform as a service. So when you go with the see, a simple point here, when you talk about SaaS, just you'll have access to the front end application, that's it. You'll have access to front end applications. You cannot establish the connectivity to the database, and you don't need DB also. Okay, you cannot do any developments in SaaS model. Just you'll have access to the application. Within the available functionality, you can do the system configuration, and you can provide the solution to the client. You can train the users, then they'll start using. If you have some issue, you can contact the Oracle, they'll be helping. If any patch application, anything need to be done, that always will be done by cloud team, which is maintained by Oracle. You don't need any DB at all, that's all. And you don't need technical resource also all the time. That point also we'll discuss detail. And PaaS model, when you talk about PaaS, whatever here in SaaS case what we discussed, so customizations are not allowed, we discussed. If you opt this option PaaS model, customizations are allowed. Okay, and again other point to compare here is in SaaS model auto upgrade takes place. Since in PaaS model you are allowed to do the customizations, Oracle is not going to support for auto upgrades, because when they are upgrading, definitely they have to consider all your customizations. Again, that will be some kind of project for them to manage all those things. That is the reason if client is going with the PaaS model, in the PaaS model, since Oracle is allowing for the customizations, they cannot support you for auto upgradations. If at all you want to upgrade, that is again it has to be done as a separate activity. Again, you have to take care of it. Client has to take care of it. That upgrades and all, you have to take the support from Oracle. Again, that would be separate task. Okay, so auto upgrade can be possible, it has to done separately. Okay, so that is a difference. That means here when you compare with these two, in SaaS model, just you are getting access to the application where you can configure and you can use. Along with that, on top of it, of course, you may do you may develop the new reports, or you may do small size of personalizations and all. Those are allowed. But if you go with the PaaS model, yes, however, you get access to SaaS in the same way. You'll be getting the access to all the products whatever you subscribed, and you'll be getting the tools. You'll be getting the tools which allows you to do the customizations. Okay, and you can do customization, you can do personalizations, you can do whatever you want. But one more point, when you talk general practice which we see is, if somebody is going to implement our tool or any product, definitely they'll be doing the integrations. That is a great advantage of ERP. So in SaaS or PaaS, in any model, integrations are possible, allowed. Okay, integration we don't treat here as a customization. It's all about the other Oracle product other than Fusion. Client might be running say their procurement on, or some supply chain management on R12 version. Client is implementing Fusion, okay, for their finance operations. In that case, easily you can connect. Okay, easily you can connect. Oracle is giving the option. We got different options. If you are going to integrate, okay, it's all about coexistence. Okay, if you are going to integrate Oracle product with the Fusion applications, okay, pre-built connectors Oracle is already, they build it. Just it's all about, you can plug and you can play with it. That's it. You are not going to do too much technical work. Since that is a Oracle product, you can do that. Even if it is not Oracle product, that could be some third-party application. There are simple and best possibilities Oracle given. That point also will touch when you are working on the application. For now, that is a point. That means, I mean to say, like in SaaS or PaaS model, integrations are possible. Okay, with in the very simplest manner. Okay, done. And other one here in SaaS, compared to this, here only application access. Here application plus tools access to do the customizations. Here auto upgrade possible, it's not possible here. Done. And we have other model called as IaaS. IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. See, it's a very simple point. If you want to run your system, definitely you should have an infrastructure. If you want to use any product, you need an infrastructure. To do some changes or to manage those product technical aspect, you need some tools. Okay, to run any system, you need infrastructure. Okay, some server infrastructure, I can say. It all includes the security aspects, okay, network, etc. Everything. Infrastructure is required. And to do some customizations and to manage very effectively technical aspect, we need tools. Okay, why we have these tools and infrastructure? Finally, to use the application only. Okay, if you need access to only application where you are not going to do the customization, you can opt SaaS. And if you want to do the customizations and you have to, along with the applications, you can get access to tools also. Applications plus tools. Let me write in this way. And if you are going to opt the solution called as infrastructure as a service, IaaS, here what happens is, okay, based on your requirement, the Oracle can provide you the infrastructure based on the requirement. They can on demand, they can maintain the infrastructure for you, and anytime they can extend that support in terms of infrastructure related requirements based on your business extension or whatever. Okay, here if you opt this option along, see, if you opt this option only, you will get access to applications where you can use as per your business requirement. If you opt this application, along with this application you will have access to the some technical tools which will allow you to do the customizations. And if you opt this option, you will have a great flexibility where you can choose the infrastructure and which environment you want to run that server, and different capabilities as you require as per your organization, how things will be doing and how effectively you want to do, etc. So infrastructure related support, things, you will be having the option, you will be able to touch, and you will be able to ask Oracle to change something or to do something as per requirement. Otherwise, if you go with just SaaS model, that's it. You will be using the application. You never have access to tools to do some customizations, and you should not focus on which infrastructure is running this, and you don't have an option to choose whatever really you love to use for your business operations to run your application. Okay, that's how these three are different. Okay, so but now in the market you can see most of the clients are opting this, and a few clients are opting this. This is a very rare cases where companies, very big organization, where they have a too much of global operations or very complex things to maintain effectively their business processes, applications, or tool management, etc., with many other technology connectivity integrations and all. In that case, company may opt for infrastructure. If you choose SaaS, you don't need to worry about what infrastructure Oracle is providing and what tools they may provide is not required, because we are not opting for that. We are not subscribing. So this is all about options we have within the cloud as SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Okay, any questions on this? Okay, any questions on these options? Okay, here I have one question. 1 second. Will you have an option to switch cloud options of? Yes, possible. Okay, you can opt initially, you can go with the SaaS. Always will have a flexibility to switch to PaaS and IaaS also. Yes, possible. Okay, done. Any other questions? Fine. Okay, to add few more points for the current discussion, I have one slide here. Okay, I have just one slide. Quickly, I just will go through it. So there are three options. See here. This is all about what I'm talking. So SaaS. Okay, SaaS customizations, we have scope. What I said, customization in the sense here, very less scope. You may customize just report, you may do small personalizations, not more than that. You cannot develop the altogether new functionality or some ADF forms and all. So you cannot do that. And the new capability is speed, because since there is a cloud anyway, when you say cloud, everything, it will be just one click. You can just simply will be able to access without any time and some session just delays, etc. Okay, you'll have a great speed of application access, since you are going to deploy your server in the cloud based SaaS cloud. And customization, less customizations. Business end users means it's all about, if you go with a SaaS model, it's all about you will be using the application, the meaning. Other side you have to understand, will implement and will be using. That is a point here when you talk about SaaS model. And other model is PaaS. And PaaS model, you will have access to the application. Okay, and it is a advantage for developers. Okay, developers will have application developers will have access to the technical tools, which tools really require to do some application development. Okay, customizations, those can be given by Oracle. So that's the reason here the scope is very high. You'll have access to the application, and you'll have access to you will be able to do the customization. See here, instead of writing here customization, should be written as a application. I didn't notice very detailed level. Okay, so this here application only, it will be there. But anyway, even they mentioned it may be wrong, but still the point here is You'll have an application and you can do the basic customizations. Here you can correct it to applications basically. In this cloud environment, you'll have access to application. In case of pass model, along with the applications, you can do the customizations where developers can involve in that customization to do that. So means the development. If you have a focus on development of your application, the extensions or any new functionality, in that case you can opt for pass. So take simple examples. A client like GE, okay, Emerson, these kind of big clients, if they are going to implement Fusion applications, definitely, because now if you look into their business process, okay, as per their business process, there will be huge customization need to be done for any ERP standard product. Let them choose Oracle or SAP or anything. See, no ERP product will meet as per their business requirement, because those are very complex business processes which they are running. For that reason, they should do the customization. Without doing the customization as a ready-made product, these companies cannot use, not now, not in future also. Okay, so that is reason for that kind of clients, if they are going to opt this Fusion application, definitely they'll go with a pass model. Okay, the same way they may go ahead with the IAS also. Here what thing you can do is consolidation, cost savings and all. Okay, in the sense like if you are running your different missions, okay, different, you are taking the application from the Oracle and already you are running your you are maintaining the infrastructure to run the different systems to support your, to manage your organization enterprise business process related information, etc. You can just leave all those and you can take the support from Oracle. You may have a different system, different platforms. All can be managed by Oracle, so that since you are going to get support from as a single source, definitely you can save your cost. Here the other benefits are here anyway. Just you will get a platform. This would be the additional one. Okay, this will, here will get the additional one platform. And again, anyway, application access will be having, and customizations. Okay, that's what here we have to understand. Fine. So here simply general point, here generally will have application. Here it should be like application, along with that customizations, then here applications, customizations, then platform also will be getting. This is how it should be done. Anyway, this is what we have to understand when you talk about these. You can see say like adaptions or models or service types which you get from Oracle. Let me answer a few questions here which I got in chat window. Okay, here let me see here. Switching, yes, that we discussed. Hi Laxman. If client can deal directly with Oracle, then what is the scope of Oracle partners like HCL? No, see, client. See, if you say client directly can deal with Oracle, why they are not directly dealing with Oracle when we are running on release 12? See, release 12 is in the market, but clients are not directly dealing. When the client will deal, when really they have a passion of using that Oracle applications only, then only they'll just directly, they may go with Oracle. Again, from Oracle, there will be consulting team. They have to work as a separate engagement. See here how the companies, how the clients are buying the products, because there is a lot of marketing and pre-sales activity, sales pre-sales activity. And then the consulting companies are convincing the client. Finally, they are making the customers to choose Oracle only. This all the hard work who are doing, consulting companies. Okay, somebody is not doing from client side. So that is reason directly, just nobody, I mean, very rare cases, I agree with you, but almost all the clients will get engaged with Oracle with a consulting companies through consulting companies only. So here also, see, if they directly, if they are going, just if they are directly going and approaching the Oracle, what Oracle also has to do the implementation, right? They also charging, right? So for that, a lot of kind of competition we have in the market. Other consulting companies can bid less whatever Oracle is going to bid for implementation. So that is reason these clients will definitely they'll touch. I mean, they'll go through these consulting companies, and there are many other reasons also. Okay, so that's what. Fine. So that's all about it. The scope of Oracle, like I said, that's what. Okay. The clients always do. We don't need to think. Client always will be going contacting Oracle to get it done. If that is true, even in case of R12 also, all clients should do it. But we are able to involve in the projects, the base of consulting companies. Okay, done. So what is the class time tomorrow? Same time. I have one question here. What is the class time tomorrow? Same time. Okay, 11 to 1. Okay, every day in the sense like weekends will be having 11 to 1. I may run the sessions from 11 to 1 for one more or two more weekends, max not more than one more weekend, I guess. After that, if you people are okay, I can take the session 3 hours, and still if you are okay, I can take 4 hours also. That we'll discuss. We'll take the people feedback. Based on that, we'll do it. For now, it's a fixed hours. Timings are 2 hours, 11 to 1. Okay. And other questions here: will fusion put end for the Oracle partners because clients have simple have direct? No, that's what the same we discussed. Okay. Now, SaaS and see, it's all about, see, simple point I'll tell you. Oracle is just going to, Oracle is going to reduce the burden for the clients. If there is some consulting company, all consulting companies are not taking care of the server deployments, or they are not maintaining the data centers for the customers, right? So instead of client will go with their own effort and investments, Oracle is helping them. But what role consulting companies are playing? Implementation support that will remain in the market. Okay, Oracle is not going to play the complete role of implementing for each and every client and supporting to the client. Okay, so that job always will be done by consulting companies only. There won't be any big change in that. Okay, done. So other questions. I think sales team can handle this as they are more service based. Yeah, sales team. See, every company will be having sales team to win the projects for implementation or support. Oracle has their own sales team, and again, every consulting company has their own sales teams, and there is huge competition also. If Oracle is going to do their on their own, getting projects drastically will be reduced. Like why Oracle is getting those many projects means because of consulting companies are there. They can deal, they can manage with the clients, they can at any cost they can get the projects for their benefit. Ultimately, that would be benefit for Oracle. If Oracle is going to do this job as a just one man army, they cannot do too much business. Then, okay, fine, done. Any other questions? So I don't see any other question. Then we'll just move on to next point. 1 second here. Okay, fine, done. So other point I want to discuss with you here. Okay, so what is the difference between, because I added this slide only for this session. Okay, earlier demos I am not including this slide. So the people are, after completing the course also, after speaking with some people, they're asking the question, what is the big difference between the Oracle Fusion applications and the Oracle Fusion Cloud applications? It's very simple. Applications remain same. The product functionality features will remain same. You can classify that applications based on where you are deploying. Say you taken the license from Oracle and you install in your own server. So you are installing in your own server means that is not cloud, right? So that should be called as Oracle Fusion applications. Of course, if it is finance, Oracle Fusion financials. That's it. If you are going to use the Oracle Fusion applications only, say financials, Oracle Fusion financials, but finally you are going to deploy your server in cloud. Since you deployed your server in the cloud, which is easy access and more secured and very cheaper compared to on-premise, then that will be calling as cloud financials. Okay, product wise there is no difference. Product is same where you are deploying. Based on deployment, you can call it as Oracle Fusion financials or Oracle Fusion Cloud financials. Okay, only that is the difference. Other differences anyway already we discussed. If it is a cloud, there will be limitations. Again, to talk about limitations, we have three options, right? Depending on, if client is going to install that application their own server infrastructure by using their infrastructure, they'll have full rights. Any customization they can do on that their own, since they are maintaining their server. Okay, no limitations. But if you are going to opt SaaS, since there is a cloud, since again you are opting within the SaaS cloud, within the cloud SaaS option, just you cannot do the customizations. Basic things you can do, but not core customizations you cannot do. But if you go with a PaaS model, yes, you can do the customizations. Okay, that those are allowed more or less. You can do the customer. You can use the application. You can do the customization, but you won't have an option of choosing or changing the technology infrastructure and whatever virtual server is running. But if you go with the option called as IaaS, infrastructure as a service, so that would be equal to your on-premise. In on-premise you will be choosing the infrastructure, right? You choose, you installed and you are using. Okay, your this what I can say, on-premise instance will be equal to these three adaptions, but in terms of security, etc., you have to take care of. That will be big burden and big challenge for the company. That headache we can give it to the Oracle. They'll take care of it, since they're running the cloud services, cloud operations. Because see, the other point is the Oracle acquired big cloud players in the market. So that is the reason now Oracle is claiming Oracle is big cloud computing company in the market. Okay, so that's all about it. And other point here I have here to discuss here, just let me go through this. So we discussed about what Fusion applications all about and what are the implementation models. Implementation models means on-premise and cloud. On-premise means only one option where the client will get everything and they'll have to take care of it. In cloud, we have three options: SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. We have that already we discussed. Now we'll get into the point called as Fusion applications enterprise structure. In the Fusion applications, what is the enterprise structure? We have how the entire information can be managed in the system environment. Okay, let me note that point here. Oracle Fusion enterprise structure. Okay, Oracle Fusion enterprise structure. So before we get into this Fusion enterprise structure, let's just recall what is the multi-org structure in EBS. It's a very simple, as we know. So here, in case of R12, I'm talking about EBS. EBS, the two R12. Of course, if you talk about 11A, the term will be changed few terms, right? The ledger we call as setup book. Fine. Okay. Here in R12, when you talk about your multi-org structure, we'll have a business group, right? Under business group, we'll have a primary ledger. And primary ledger will have a legal entity or entities, multiple, we can have everything, right? And the legal entities will have a operating units. Since everybody know about it, I am not mentioning the short names, etc. Okay, under that final will have a inventory organizations. Okay, however, I written in kind of sequence, the same flow we'll be having. We'll have a topmost level business group where we can manage the people information, the primary ledger, accounting information, and legal entity, registration information, operating unit, more secured for data to track and maintain the data, respect unit wise, entity wise. It's all about to record the core business activities with the respective functions. Will have a operating unit for inventory management, warehouse management purpose, inventory management purpose. Will have a inventory organization. So this is a very standard multi-org structure when you refer EBS. So now how this same structure, what is there any changes Oracle did? If they didn't do any naming convention, they changed. Let's try to understand here. Okay, when you talk about enterprise structure in the Fusion environment, we have in this way. The topmost level we have enterprise. Under enterprise we can have a divisions. Under divisions we can have a primary ledgers. Under primary ledger we can have a legal entities. Okay, and under legal entities we can have a, here in EBS operating units, the same here we are calling as business units. It's nothing but BU. Okay, under business unit we can have, okay, distribution centers, and under distribution centers we'll have a inventory organizations. Okay, this is a new structure how they designed in Fusion applications, Oracle designed. Okay, when you compare with this, okay, fine, I'll just run through the slide and I'll explain. That would be good to understand very easily. Okay, fine, I prepared one slide here for the discussion. Fine. So an enterprise structure in Fusion application. This is the enterprise structure. So on top level we have enterprise. Under enterprise we have a divisions. Under divisions primary ledger. Under primary ledger legal entities. Under legal entities business units. Under business units distribution centers. Under distribution centers we have inventory organization. Of course we know item master and other organizations all will be treated as a inventory, which is item master virtual. We know that. Done. Let's try to understand and we'll compare with the EBS also. See here, I'll go back to that slide. You just look into that. Okay, will run through this too. So in EBS we have a business group concept. You can create as many as you require as per your business groups. And coming to Fusion applications, you can, for one instance you can have only one enterprise. This enterprise is nothing but just you will be mapping your group name over there. Okay, for one instance you can have only one enterprise, but in the EBS environment you can have a number of business groups. Here only one enterprise. In that case, if you are going to manage the employees information, how will be managing if you have only one enterprise? Say client is running the operations of multiple countries. In that case, in EBS we have a different options where you can have, for multiple countries you can have a different business groups, and you may have a one business groups also where you can manage within the HR solutions for country wise. The same in EBS Fusion case, you cannot have multiple enterprises for each and every country. For entire global operations also, since enterprise is going to be one here, enterprise definition also will be one. That will be getting as a default enterprise. You no need to create also. Based on your requirement, you can select the options, controls, and defaults how the HR process should work in the system. Our payroll process or HCM related process, human capital management related solution, how it should work, that you can set at our enterprise level. And if client is running the operations the multiple countries, definitely they have to manage the different country uh, it's employees related information and kind of statutory related information, statutory reporting and all. In that case, for country specific, however we have here country specific, you can create the business group in Fusion environment within the enterprise. Okay, as a part of Fusion HCM solution, we have a legislative data groups. The legislative data groups always will talk about respective country related operations. There we can each country we can create separate legislative data group. That's how you can segregate and you can manage the HR related information. Okay, that's all about enterprise. And second one is division. What division all about it? Here I given in the screen, you can see here the division. Okay, you can go with a different depending on your business, you can just utilize this function called as divisions. So based on geographies, if you are running the business in across the globe, okay, each geography you can create as a one division. APAC, EMEA, different regions you can take as a separate divisions. And the other option we have here is, okay, each and every line of business you can take a separate division. Here in the screen you can see automobiles. Okay, automobiles we have, and we have different businesses. Say the client is running the business like automobiles business, and they are into some IT services, they are into some manufacturing business, and each vertical or each business or each, I mean, what are the different businesses client is running, each business they can manage as a separate division, or else each geography they can maintain as a separate division. So that if you maintain each vertical of business or each geography as a separate division, you'll get a capability of tracking the transaction and generating the reports accordingly. So that is a additional mile of advantage you can get, that kind of additional mileage you can get within your system environment. Okay, that's all about division. I have one question here. So the sales team, you mean to say employees are assigned to legislative data groups in Fusion? Okay, yes, because legislative group only will talk about the country and the currency specification. The everything will be mapped and managed with the mapping of legislative data group. Okay. Yep. HR organization. Yes, yes. Fine. So that's all about divisions to understand. As we know, in EBS case, we don't have any division concept, which you can include as a part of multi-org, but still you can maintain the division even if you are running the business in one country for local. Okay, if you are going to have a local chart of accounts, within that you may have a division segment as a part of chart of accounts where you can track division specific costing, etc., and all those things. You may treat your departments, or you can have a divisions you can manage even within the country. So that's how you can have as a part of chart of accounts in R12, but there is no solution available in R12 where we can have a divisions as a part of enterprise structure. Even if you are running the business across the globe, in that case also you can have a division as a part of your chart of accounts, but if you are going to have a global chart of accounts, in that case you can have, otherwise we don't have any option. But in the fusion, as an enterprise structure, part of enterprise structure, they're given a the flexibility of just tracking the data division wise. The division can be specific geography or specific vertical of business which you are running. And the other point here is primary ledger. Okay, here we have primary ledger, the same, there are no changes, there should not be any changes. Okay, here we have primary ledger. In the same way, here in fusion also will be having primary ledger. Here we have legal entity where we can just record the registration related information to track each and every business transaction where the organization has to report with respect to which registration. For that reason, as we all legal entities will maintain here and there, no change. And here in EBS we have a operating unit, and in case of fusion we have it, the same will be calling as business unit, and concept remains same, but when you are doing the setups and all, they simplified the setup process, etc. That will, once we get into the application, we'll discuss detail level. So functionality wise there is no change. Operating unit in fusion we are calling as business unit. And here every, just here operating unit we have, and under that inventory we have, each inventory will be mapping with the operating unit where that will be supporting for the sales and procurement related activities. So in fusion, okay, uh, along, I mean, just we have a inventory organizations. Apart from that, we have a distribution centers. See, distribution centers, it's like the distribution, how you are managing in your organization. Okay, say you are just selling. Okay, how you are managing the distribution. If it's not required all the time. If really some organization require the function called as a distribution channel where they are distributing, they are selling that goods or material through different distribution channels. For that, they can have a separate kind of what I can say, it's kind of separate department or separate scope of work which they'll be executing instead of directly. There'll be direct communication between the operating unit and the inventory organization. In between, distribution also will come into the picture where distribution will interact with the inventory and they'll be executing the distribution related task within the organization. Here when I talk about distributions and all, in the system point of view, it won't makes big difference and all. So if you are going to have some distribution, that means through which distribution center you are executing the distribution activities. If you want to track, you can use the distribution center, otherwise it's not required. Even distribution center we are not going to create as a separate definitions and all. While you are creating the inventory only you can create as a additional representation of distribution center. Okay, this is how we have a fusion enterprise structure. Here I given single screen, you can just look into that. Okay, okay, this is how we have. And other point to discuss here is, okay, in the enter, and when you look into this enter and enter, here you may see this business units, and you can see in the slide shared service units. It's nothing but we have some data sharing concept. Okay, where different BUs can share the data. That concept will be discussing when you get into that. As of now, you no need to focus on this point. No need to, no need to try to understand this point. Okay, don't try to understand this point. Well, we will see that just simple point you can treat under LEs will have a BUs only. Just one additional point you have to understand. Okay, that we'll be discussing anyway in our sessions. Okay, so out of all these enterprise components or enterprise elements or enterprise units, divisions and distribution centers are optional. if really required for any organization, then only they'll go with the division. In the same way, if they are running the great distribution uh, volume of the activities, then only the we may create some distribution center. But in terms of creation, also it's same as a inventory organization will be creating. So finally, if division and distribution centers are not mandatory, almost our enterprise structure, the fusion enterprise structure will remain same as EBS. In place of business group, we have enterprise. Of course, here enterprise is more than business group here in fusion, because this can hold the different countries of the data groups. Here data groups are nothing but specific country employees related data, and divisions optional. Of course, in EBS we have, if required we can opt it, and primary ledger here and there we have, and legal entities there and here we have, there OUs we have, here we have VUs, no change. And there we don't have any distribution center concept, here we have, but finally it's optional. And inventory organization we have in EBS, in fusion also we have inventory organization. Okay, these are the points to understand when you talk about the enterprise structure in fusion applications. Any questions here, please? Any questions, please? Fine. If no question, we can move to the next point. Okay, we discussed about, yeah, please.
I have one question.
Sorry?
Yeah, actually, yeah, this Karthik here.
Karthik, please.
In R12, we are going to have a we will do transactions at inventory org level, so we can call it as inter-org transfer, something like that. So
same we have functionality wise, no changes. What level, what we are doing in EBS, the same we can do it.
But I am asking at the level of distribution centers.
No, simple. The inventory, finally it has to pick. We have to pick and release from here only. Just will be tracking additional information. This is happening through which channel. That's all. It is referring which channel of distribution. That's all. It's all about additional tracking. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fine, done. So our primary ledger will be linked or mapped with inventory only, not with the distribution center. That's it. When primary ledger is not mapped with the distribution center, there is no opportunity of doing the transactions. That's all. Fine, done. That's all about fusion enterprise structure. We just discussed by comparing with EBS. If you need any clarification or any doubt or any point, you can ask me. We can have a quick discussion on the same. Okay. If no, we'll proceed to next point called as fusion architecture. Okay, so fusion architecture, let me take that point here. So we'll talk about few points, then we'll get into that. Fine. Fusion architecture. So before we talk about fusion architecture, let's talk about our EBS. It's a very simple. Just for simple understanding, we'll have a applications and we'll have a database. Right? So applications are tightly connected, directly connected with the database, and whatever data you enter, that directly will be dumped into database. You can fetch the data from database through applications or by running the reports, a direct communication. There is no mechanism which will be monitoring the activities which takes place between these two. Okay, if you are going to do any kind of integrations or anything directly, you have to direct integration will be doing through application only by using the respective interfaces. Okay, any data inflows or outflows, inbound or outbound activities, outbound related interface development or anything, directly we are connecting to application. Okay, through application, and again there is a direct communication between these two applications. But when you talk about fusion architecture, they change a lot. Here we'll have a first, this is, you can treat as one layer. We'll have a fusion applications. Let me say Oracle Fusion applications. We'll have Oracle Fusion applications, and we'll have a database. It's the same as EBS. Okay, we have a Fusion applications and we have a database. What's new in Fusion applications? In between Fusion applications and database, they introduce the concept called as middleware. So any communication or any process or any security or any control will takes place when you are running this application through middleware. Okay, we'll see those points a bit detailed level. Okay, when I talk about Fusion applications, we know to discuss this point also, but just I'm mentioning, Fusion application means Oracle Fusion GL, Oracle Fusion Payables, Oracle Fusion Receivables, Oracle Fusion CM, Oracle Fusion FA, and etc. Okay, there are many applications. Whatever you see in EBS, okay, the same here you can see as a Fusion applications. Right, done. And when you talk about middleware, okay, so in the middleware we have many components and many technologies that taken part of middleware to run this entire system very smoother and more secured and more performance oriented and more into some very simple adaptations. I mean, to say simple plug and play environment can be given by middleware. Okay, it's a very powerful layer, I can say. So as a functional consultant, what are the few basic things we have to understand from middleware? So in middleware, we have certain components, which more it referred functional and as well as technical. Here I'll just give few points and we'll talk about it so that you can understand the entire Fusion architecture, how things will be running. So I'll say IDM, same IDM you may call as OAM, and we have say APM, and we have a BPM, and we have a UCM, and we have a SOA, and we have a BPL. Okay, so on. There we have many middleware tools or components, or you may call it as middleware applications. Okay, this is how we have. So here we don't need to discuss about it. Okay, here in EBS, all the applications, the functionality and all will be running through these forms. But in the Fusion applications, all built with ADF, all ADF forms. You don't see single form in the Fusion applications. Again, it's a single user interface. In EBS case, if you are opening, you will be opening the form only. You'll be keep opening the forms because the forms or the functionality need to be compiled, and that is the reason most of the bugs or issues will be getting. But here everything will happen through single user interface. Okay, single user interface, and everything will be running through web browser only, ADF technology. So that is the reason this Fusion applications you can easily access from mobile device or other devices also. Okay, so fine, that we'll talk. I mean, once we get into that, we can see and we can understand more about it. But simple point here, the same EBS application, whatever we have, will be having as a part of Fusion applications. But everything will be running on web-based browsers. Okay, so easy connectivity and easily you can perform the tasks and no forms environment. All are ADF pages. Done. And middleware. In the middleware, we have a different tools. As I mentioned here, IDM, the same IDM you can call as OEM also, BPM, APM, UCM, SOA, BPL. Let's talk about these points very basic level. Okay, once we get into our course, we can see more detail level. What is IDM all about? Okay, what is IDM all about it? So IDM stands for Identity Manager. Okay, when you say OEM, the same for IDM, other name is OEM. Here it stands for Oracle Identity Manager. That's all. Okay, what is the role of this IDM or OEM? It's very simple. In EBS, we have a system administrator where we can create the users and we can assign the responsibilities. Similar job can be performed in IDM. We can say it's I'm not saying exactly we have responsibilities also in Fusion. In the place of responsibility, we have something else that we'll be discussing in the further sessions, but you can compare just for comparison and for your understanding purpose. I'm saying this IDM or OM, whatever you call, this is more or less equal to system administrator responsibility in EBS. That means if you want to create users and if you want to give some access to the users to work on the applications, those activities can be done through IDM or OM only. Okay, that's all about IDM or OM and APM. APM stands for Authorization Policy Manager, or you may call it as Access Policy Manager. See here, simple. In EBS, okay, in EBS, to work for any application, we have to create the responsibility. To create responsibility, primarily we require the menu, of course, data group also. Okay, that's always it's a seeded, and you will be selecting always a standard and will be using. So that is the reason we need to focus on that. Majorly menu. Okay, to which application you want to have access, accordingly will be creating the what I can say this response. You will be selecting the menu and will create the responsibility. So we get default seeded responsibilities in fresh environment, right? So in the same way, that means for each and every applications, what features Oracle develop, and they are giving pre-packaged application, all the features you can find in the menu, right? We can find in the menu. So directly the menus and all you can find in the when you are creating the response to system administrator. But in the Fusion, what happens is for every application here, similar concept. Instead of menus in Fusion, Oracle is giving the roles. Which roles? We have different type of roles. We'll discuss once we get into the course. But just for your understanding here, I'm just mentioning that point. Equal to menus. Through menus, you can have access to the any application or functions, right? In the same way, equal to that, Oracle is providing here jobs. So for each application, however, you have menus in EBS. In the same way, for each and every application in Fusion, we have a roles. So for for specific applications, Oracle is giving the some set of roles. The set of roles will be maintained in role template. Say for example, payables. Payables, say Oracle is giving the roles called as payables manager, payables specialist, payables supervisor. So three roles we have. These three roles they are grouping and they are maintaining in the role template. The role template simply you can call as payables role template. Within the payables role template, what are the seeded roles Oracle is giving? You can see that. If you create custom roles for payables, those roles also you can add into the roles template only. There's a good reason why we have to add custom roles or standard roles into role template only. If you don't add, what will happen, that we'll see in our sessions. We have to add into that. Those role templates will be maintained within the APM only. Okay, within the APM we can maintain the role template. There are many other activities. You can create the custom duties etc through APM. Okay, so just to simplify this, in IDM we can create the IDM or OM, we can create the users and we can give the permissions to the users. Through APM you can manage all the roles and you can maintain through role template. You can create the custom roles. Those things we can do. Apart from that, there are many other things we'll be looking into that once you get into the course. Since it's a demo, I'm just touching the basic points. Done. That's all about APM to understand. And other one, as a part of middleware component or middleware application, we have other application called as BPM. It's the BPM stands for Business Process Management. Okay, the BPM stands for Business Process Management. What is the purpose of this? See, in EBS we have a AME, Approval Management Engine. So where you can set up the approvals. Okay, where you can set up the approvals. So I have some question. Can you please share this Excel sheet with us? I'm sorry, I cannot share this kind of Excel sheets. I'll be uploading this demo in the YouTube today. You can browse it. Okay. So session related all stuff I'll be sharing. So when I'm running the session, everything I'll be writing in the Excel. Say for example in payables, I'm going to do configuration called as MOAC. or something else, in that case I list out the setups. 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the setups need to be done. Once we're done with the setups, what is the execution transaction process? First we'll create that, later we'll create that, then we'll apply this and that. We'll be doing everything. I'll be writing in the Excel so that you can have a just look on those points where easily you can get into and easily you can remember. That spreadsheet I can share, but the demo related spreadsheet I may not share with anyone. I'm sorry for that. I'll be uploading this session, today's session, in the YouTube, that you can browse it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for understanding. Okay, done. So business process management. Okay, in EBS we have AME, approval management engine. If you want to do the approvals for like invoice approvals, you can do through AME. If you want to do the journal approvals, that you can do from journal GL itself. If you want to do the approvals for purchasing, the purchasing approvals you can configure from purchasing itself. And if you want to customize any approvals and all, you have to do it from AME, where you'll be taking the workflow developer support. Workflow expert should come into the picture and they have to do it. But in Fusion, any approvals you can set up from BPM. You can say this is equal to AME. Okay, it's equal to AME when you compare with EBS, right? So this is all about BPM, and any approvals you can set from BPM. In EBS, payables you can set from AME. GL, you can do from you can do from GL only. Purchasing you can do from purchasing, but here we have any approvals in centralized tool, centralized application you can do from BPM. Again, the definitions, okay, how to define the approval rules, this simplified. Anyway, in our session I'll just take you through how to do the invoice approvals, and we'll be testing the flow. Everything will see that. It's not like just I'll take overview. I'll configure the BPM to enforce these approvals in the system, and we'll pass the invoices, and we'll set some kind of approval limits for so and so employee. This is the limit, other employee this is the limit, and we'll create journal, we'll create invoice, it will go to that approval, we'll approve it. The same user will create other more than beyond the approval limits, it will goes to the other person, will go and approve it, will test it, everything we'll see in the system. So just for to introduce about this, I'm just talking about BPM equal to AME, where we can set the approvals. That's all about this BPM and UCM. UCM stands for Universal Content Management. Okay, here this is a technique which will be using. This will be more or less will be working similar to staging. Generally, what purpose will be using the staging, that can be inventory staging, or when you talk about technical aspect, staging tables, what purpose will be using? Okay, for temporary storage purpose. If it is inventory, staging inventory temporarily to store the material. If it is staging tables, to store the data temporary purpose. So in the same way, we have a UCM. When we are loading the data, okay, into the system, first we'll take into UCM. From there we'll be taking into the respective application of interface and base tables. We'll talk about it in more detail level. This can be used for data loading process. Simple point I can give you here. Okay, we'll see detail level. That's all about UCM. These points you can take into functional aspect, because we'll be touching these when we are working. And SOA, BPL, okay, and there are many other components we have as a part of middleware, okay, which are really not required for us to understand. So even SOA and BPL also technical related components. SOA stands for this generally we call SOA, service oriented architecture. Okay, service oriented architecture, which you can use for plugin purpose. Simply you can other products you can plug with that, and you can play in the environment of Fusion application. BPL is a new language, so business process execution language. When you are working on the BPL and when we are working on this workflows, etc., technical point of view, if you want to write some programming and write some certain rules and all in terms of integration other process, we'll be using this language. There are many other components not required, but these two are related technical, but this anyway will be working on this. Okay, that's the reason just I'm majorly focusing on that. That's all about middleware. Okay, and now coming to database. In Fusion front, just we have two databases. One is Oracle database, the second one is S based database. Okay, what is the role of this Oracle database and S-based database? Anyway, we know what is the role of Oracle database. In EBS, we are using whatever it may be, the database version doesn't matter. If that is the Oracle database, primarily that Oracle database we use to store the transactional data, right? Transactional data. To store the transactional data, we can use the Oracle database. In Oracle database, we'll have a tables, right? The format of rows and columns. The form of rows and columns will be having the tables. Data will be storing in the tables. That means data will be maintained in structured. We'll have a structure of table, rows and columns. That's how we'll maintain the data in transactional base. But when you talk about S-base, what is this S-base all about? Already we discussed one point. Okay, we may not, I think we didn't focus on that much, but simple for introduction, I'm going to talk about it. So Oracle acquired Hyperion. Hyperion is the best product in the market for reporting, financial reporting management. Okay, financial reporting management purpose and planning, budgeting purpose. Okay, Hyperion is the best product in the market. So when we talk about Hyperion, the total data that will get stored in the space only, which will help for very faster reporting. And data in Hyperion related this, I can call it as Hyperion S-based database also, because S-based database is product of from Hyperion only. Okay, in S-based database, data won't get stored in the form of tables where we'll have rows and columns. The technique here in the S-based database is data will be stored in multi-dimensional cubes, which are very flexible to play with the data and to generate online reporting, to handle very large volume of the data and to do online analysis or online on the fly report generations. It has a great capabilities because it's not very structured data. Okay, structured data. So that is the reason a space they given where the whatever the transactions will be recording, whatever the information will be storing in the Oracle database in the format of journals, say in the form of journals. Once you store the data, once you say I'll create I have a few journals, I'll just complete it. First data will come and sit in the Oracle database, then the same data it will be passed to S-based database with the respective cubes, multi-dimensional cubes. Here cubes in the sense, okay, it will take a cube in the sense currency is one cube. Okay, in your chart of accounts each segment is one cube. Okay, and your calendar related period calendar is one cube. This is how, like, we'll just see, we'll discuss when you talk about that area. Okay, I'll just focus on that, but for now simple point. So once you record the transaction in your application, Fusion application, the data will get stored in the Oracle database in the form of transactional. But when we are working on these applications, everything controlled and managed by this middleware tools. Okay, middleware tools. And if you are going to integrate in the Fusion environment any application, that integrations will do through middleware. Okay, through middleware only we'll do all these integrations here directly, like how we do in the integration in the Fusion of R12 EBS environment. We are not directly connecting with any application. Through middleware we'll be connecting, where middleware just look after and it will be monitoring and controlling, will be writing many business rules over there. So it will be administrating entire business practices or security and everything which happens as a business process. Okay, that's the reason middleware is playing very major role now, so in Fusion part. Okay, so in the Oracle database, transaction data will be stored. Once transaction data will be stored, the same data will be hitting to Hyperion space to get stored in the form of balances with respect to cubes, with respect to dimensions. The data elements will get stored as a members. Okay, that we'll see when you really required, when you are working on that, when you are discussing about it. So that's all about Fusion architecture, how Oracle given. So that means we have a Fusion applications and we have a middleware and we have a database. These are three tiers we have. Okay, so this is how the applications will be running. Okay, so for security purpose we have say IDM or OM. For the security respect to definitions or just to manage that security related roles, we have APM, BPM to control or to monitor the business process with respect to approvals and other process based activities. We have BPM. Okay, and you have UCM for data processing purpose, in and out flow of the data with the respect to areas of application. And SOA and BPL is a purely technical. Okay, that's all about fusion architecture. So here I given one simple slide. Just quickly we'll go through it. I just for our understanding, to simplify your understanding, I just taken those points whatever I just now discussed. But if you want to go in detail, this would be the fusion architecture, where on the top we have a Oracle Fusion application product families, where we have Oracle Fusion Financial, Oracle Fusion HCM capital, Oracle Fusion Human Capital Management HCM, which we call Oracle Fusion Procurement or Oracle Fusion Projects. Okay, so on. Okay, this is how like we have a different product families. Okay, basically these product families we call as a offering that we'll discuss once we get into the application detail level. Let's go through the screen however Oracle is giving us. Okay, so this is how we have, and apart from that we have a fusion middleware, Oracle Fusion middleware. Just now we discussed what really we have to understand, what things can be done through that. Those I picked and I explained to you. Apart from that there are many other. Okay, many other is which are key, those are Oracle is including in this diagram. And we have in this diagram, and the rest there are many which are hidden, which will be actively working in the process. And apart from that, Oracle database they given here as a schemas, so fusion application schemas and Oracle Fusion middleware schemas. But when you look at real database, we have Oracle and SPS two databases. That's what we have to understand. We don't need to focus on how many schemas we have, right? So this is all about fusion architecture which we have. Any questions on this, please? Any questions on this? No? Fine. If no question, just I'll run through the. Just now we have seen the product families, right? The fusion. These are the different product families. We'll just go through few product families. What are the different applications we have as a part of product family? So let's look into these fusion applications. So when you look into fusion financial management, means Oracle Fusion applications. Here we have a different applications like general ledger and accounts payables, asset management, fixed assets and payments and collections, account receivables, cash expense management, and reporting, KPIs, dashboards, and all we have as a part of fusion management. When you talk about procurement, HCM, human capital management, we have human resources, global payrolls, so global HR, and we have a talent management, workforce management, and total compensations, etc., etc. Whatever like this solution they are taking, HCM they are taking from PeopleSoft. And supply chain management we have, and we have a project portfolio management, the project accounting. In EBS, project accounting means, you know, like project costing billing primarily group named as a project accounting. Along with that, in project suite we have a different applications: project management, project contract, project portfolio management, and project resource management. These are the different applications we have as a which comes under project suite. By grouping all these applications here, the product name, product family name, Oracle giving as a project portfolio management. Here, project portfolio management means don't compare with the project portfolio management application in EBS. Here, project portfolio management is complete. That meaning is the complete solution of fusion projects, all fusion related applications. Okay, here again they classified the fusion portfolio management into financial management and the reporting capabilities only, which will focus on reporting. Okay, so that's how they classified. Here primary one you can say financial management is uh, a key part. And again we have a procurement solution here. Okay, so here when you talk about an EBS case, SCM means it is just the combination of procurement related and that everything we are taking. But here the detail level they segregate and they are giving as a different products. Within the procurement we have a solutions like purchasing, self-service procurement, sourcing, procurement contract, supplier portal, and spend performance analytics and KPIs and dashboards. Everything we have as a part of procurement. And customer relationship management, CRM, they taken they inherited this product, these features from Siebel. Siebel is best product as we know for CRM. From there they taken the solution, their customer master and sales marketing, okay, incentive compensations, etc., campaigns and mobile outlooks, etc., etc., what supports very effectively for customer relationship management, all products they have in this. Okay, so this is how like we have as a just as a kind of what I can say, as other capabilities, we have a financial complaints and issue and a risk manager, access controls, which will be working in and out of this entire business operations, which comes under governance, risk and complaints, GRC. Okay, this is also we have as a part of Fusion. Just here in this slide, you can see hardly just this 6 or 7 offerings. Okay, product families, but we have many. Once we get into the application, then within the application also you can see, you can drill down and you can see in what we have. That kind of great flexibility you have. Okay, and EBS, once you get into the application, you don't know until unless you search and find. By default, you'll be getting the access to all the menus. You can create responsibility. Of course, client or somebody can use the product based on the license which they taken to get the support when real it's required. Otherwise, we cannot move ahead. That kind of situation to support, they'll be using that. But here in Fusion environment, once you get into the application, you can see how many product families we have. From each product family, what are the modules we have, you can see. But we here directly we don't call as module and product families. There is separate terminology that we'll discuss when we are working on the application. So this is all about to understand Oracle Fusion applications. Okay, done. So apart from that, what point we have here to discuss? Okay, here after Fusion architecture discussion, I just mentioned Fusion data conversion. Okay, why I mentioned here how why the reason is it's a very important to understand as a very one of the key future or key enhancement. It's, you should not say enhancement, it's you can say like a future only, but now it's all about, let me write here, I'll talk about it. Okay, data conversions in Fusion applications. Fine. Okay, because I taken this as a very important point to discuss. There is a good reason, we'll talk about it. Okay, so we know in EBS how we'll do the conversions, right? When we are doing the conversion, definitely the functional and technical resource should work for that engagement. Okay, what generally we do, we'll prepare the data templates, right? We'll prepare data templates. First we'll prepare the data templates and we'll explain and we'll give it to the business users. Okay, before that we have to study and we have to understand the client system and how the data will get stored and how the fields, etc., how they maintain the transaction. We have to understand. Anyway, we know about our Oracle data structure. Accordingly, we'll prepare the template by referring the fields. You may specify their system specific fields within this, and we'll explain to the business users and we'll be giving. Finally, we'll prepare templates, we'll help them to understand the template. Finally, we'll get the templates with data, right? We'll get the templates with data. Once we get the templates with the data from the business users, okay, that we'll share with the technical team, right? We'll share with the technical team. Okay, they will convert, right? Technical team will convert these templates into CSV or flat files or whatever compatible to execute this conversion process. Technical people convert the templates into CSV file formats or other flat files formats. Done. Once that is done, what they do is they'll write off lot of coding, right? They write lot of coding. They write lot of programming to take the data from the files, okay, to extract and to dump the data into staging. Okay, they'll write the coding for what purpose, and they'll write the coding and they'll create the staging tables, right? They write the lot of programming they write to extract the data and to dump into staging table. First they'll create the staging tables. I mean to say custom tables. They'll create. Then with the help of that coding, by using the technical tools, they'll extract the data from the respective source of data files, and they'll be finally populating the staging tables with it can be master data, transactional data. Once that is done, again they'll work on that coding part, programming part for validations, right? They'll write many validations. With that, they'll be validating the data which is in the staging table. Again, they have to write a lot of programming to populate the data. Sorry, data in interfaces. Maybe you may call it as open interfaces. Okay, they'll do the validations. Finally, with the help of technical resource only, right? Technical resource will write the program. They'll fetch the data and they'll be taking to staging tables. They'll write a lot of programming to validate the data. Finally, they'll just move the data from the staging to interface. Say interface tables. For that everything, for all these activities, they have to depend. We have to depend on technical resource only. Once data is populated in interface, we can come into the picture, or else of course technical people also can do this small simple activity. It's all about importing the data into respective base tables. Done. This is a typical data conversion strategy, or it's a process. You cannot say strategy. Okay, it's a process. This is a process we'll follow, and when we are doing that, following this process, we'll go with the different strategies, different depending on data which we are loading. It can be transaction or master data. Okay, generally for transaction data we'll have strategy. For master data also, just it's all about as it is, we'll be getting into that. In case of transaction, we'll go with accounting logics, etc. That's different. Let it be. Okay, this is a practice we'll follow in EBS, right? It can be 11 or release 12. In EBS, this is the approach we'll follow. But when you talk about same activity, data conversion, the fusion applications, completely they changed. We don't need technical resource at all to do this activity. In EBS, we cannot do anything without technical resource in EBS, but fusion, we don't need any technical resource to do this data conversion fusion. How that is possible? I made simple slide here to make it very simple to understand. Let me run through that slide. Okay, this is the data conversion process. So first, data templates. So here, in case of EBS and all, Oracle is not providing any kind of predefined templates for respective data. But in Fusion case, the templates Oracle is providing for our vendor master, or open invoices, or customer master, or open transactions, or for journals, open transaction, to load the trial balance information or anything, assets related data, whatever you call, and banks related information. For everything, Oracle is providing the templates. Okay, Oracle is providing the template. Let me just give that point here. Okay, so this is EBS process, but in Fusion, what happens is Oracle is providing the template called as FBDA. FBDA stands for file based data import. Okay, Oracle is providing FBDA templates. FBDA stands for file based data import. I'm sorry, I missed that. File based data import. Okay, it's nothing but spreadsheets. How generally we create when we are working to do the data conversions, we'll create the spreadsheets, right? There will be mentioning all the mandatory columns or the additional information what client wants to fetch into the system from their legacy. You may map it as a the attribute, means through DFF and all you can manage that. In the same way, we no need to prepare any templates in the Fusion. All templates are available. Simply you can go and download from the Oracle official website. For that, you don't need any login credentials also. That is as an open source, it's available straight away. You can go and download it. I'll show you that process, how to do that. We'll do this all, we'll see that how to load the data also. We'll see in and out process, loading process. First, just a simple task is we have a file based data import templates that simply you have to download it. That's it. That's what I given here slide. Okay, just we'll download the template. After downloading the templates, what we have to do? We have to explain to the business users, and we'll be sharing with the business users. Finally, we'll get the data templates with the data. That's it. Templates we are not preparing anyway. Data will be provided by business users. After that, what we have to do is within the template, in the FPDA template, we'll have an option to convert into CSV file format. Simply first we have to get the templates with the data. Before that, we are not preparing the templates. We are getting from Oracle only. Okay, ready-made templates will get, users will fill the data. Then next step is we'll convert the templates into CSV file format. Simply there will be an option by given some instructions. One click, you'll click on that. Once you click on that FBDA file template which has a data, you can click on convert into CSV. Then automatically that flat file, that spreadsheet will get converted to flat file. How it will convert? It will create flat CSV file, and the CSV file it will take into zip file. Within the zip file, one CSV file it will generate, and outside of zip file also it will create one more CSV file. Ultimately we need zip file only. Automatic system will take that zip file into CSV file into zip file. Then okay, then finally that we have to load into UCM. Whatever the zip file we have, that file we have to import, we have to load. I written the term as import, but just take it as a load. We load that file into UCM, universal content management. If you want to compare this UCM with respect to this EBS, data conversion process, simply you can understand this is equal to staging tables or custom tables what technical guys will be creating. Done. Once you load, see, to do this you don't need to do any programming. Simple request they are giving. How generally we run the request in SRS window, report or request or program you can call. Okay, in the same way here also they are giving. Here the same request we call a job in the Fusion. Simply you submit the job. Okay, once you submit the job, whatever the data we have in the CSV file format, which is a part of zip file, okay, that file data automatically will be loaded. The entire zip file will be loaded into UCM. Once the file is available in the UCM, the next task is you have to populate the data which is there in the UCM file to interface tables. For that again you have one job, just you have to go and submit. Just it's an easy task. Go and select and submit. Then automatically the data which is there in the CSV file which is part of UCM, that file data will be populated in the respective interface. Once data is available in the interface, we'll run the import program, import job. Then data will be loaded into base tables. That's how they simplified. Now we don't require any technical resource. Okay, so that's how this data conversion process works. We'll see the live process in the system will do it. Okay, I'll just show you, I'll explain, you will see the result also. Done. So this is all about data conversion, how it takes place in the Fusion applications. And other point here I mentioned, as I mentioned, the rapid implementation. Okay, I given as a demo agenda, the same I'm going to run. So rapid implementation, it's all about rapid implementation. Means since they given the kind of more scope where you can just download the certain templates, spreadsheets in the Fusion application. Simply you can fill. I given some simple screenshot from the system. This is how spreadsheets you can download. Within the spreadsheet you can enter the data and you can load it to the system. Say you want to create 100 business units, means operating units as per EBS. You want to create 100 operating units, the same we are calling as business units, BUs. If you want to create it, spreadsheet you enter it. If you want to create the primary ledgers, enter in spreadsheet. If you want to create the chart of accounts, data, or anything, all the information you enter in the spreadsheet, simply you can load it to this, load into system. If you want to extract, easily you can extract. The imports and uploads, it's a very friendly feature they given in the Fusion applications. And as an overall process also, we can do in the very quickly all these activities. That's how the things will be organized in the Fusion. That is the reason you can follow the rapid implementation approach also, but it's limited to certain features. Here I given the small screen which you can see for which features it is applicable. It may not be more clear to see and understand in this slide, but I'll just show you in the live environment. Okay, the simple point, rapid implementation means simply you can just enter the data in the spreadsheet. Otherwise you have to go to the instance, you have to take the navigation, you have to click, you have to enter, you have to go to other tab, you have to save, you have to come out of the form again, you have to open one more. It may be, see, if you are going to do 100 clicks in the system environment, maybe with the 10 clicks you can complete the same in the spreadsheet. Okay, it's a very friendly spreadsheet you'll be getting. So that's all about we call as rapid implementation spreadsheets. Through the spreadsheets, outside of the instance you can enter the data, then those you can load into the system. Auto configuration will take place the system environment, and even they given the simplest implementation approach also. It's more or less similar to our traditional implementation process only, but there are some improvements and how things can be done in the easiest way, and those possibilities we have that we'll see in the system. I'll show you how to download that rapid spreadsheet, how to enter data, how to load it, what are the different options available. That also will be finding. Now, other point I want to share here, the same rapid implementation. Here you can upload. See here, enterprise structure and hierarchies means enterprise structure means your enterprise, whatever we discussed, all those objects you can create in spreadsheet. Hierarchies means enterprise hierarchy. Okay, here we call as a trees also. Even account parent and child account creation also comes under hierarchies and tree structure. Okay, that's all about that. We can load. You can just we have browse option. That file whatever you enter data you can browse and you can submit. It will get uploaded into the system. So then you will be you can go and see the configuration. You don't need to enter through manual process. And other point to discuss here, what is the scope for technical resource in fusion applications? Very less, we can say. Okay, we can say the technical consultant scope is very less. So that is reason, as I given the slide here, not because I given. So because of facts, the people are all the Oracle apps functional technical resource are getting converted into Oracle Fusion application consultants. They're slowly just they are moving into functional side, because already we discussed in every implementation the key activity. If you take implementation project, primarily I'm focusing on implementation. If you take implementation project, in the implementation project, okay, in the implementation project we are not going to do any conversions with the help of technical people. That can be done by functional people. If you take very typical kind of say vanilla implementation project, do you think technical resources are required? No, not at all. But if you take vanilla implementation in EBS case, yes, definitely it can be vanilla or anything. Okay, technical resources are required, but the number can be changed. It's a vanilla, you may take one for finance. It's a very complex, many customers you may go with the multiple technical resource. But when you talk about fusion implementations, fusion application implementations, you don't see much requirement of technical resource. This is one reason. Other reason is most of the clients are opting uh, this, what I can say, like this SaaS model, software as a service, where the product won't allow for any customizations. Here customizations in the sense, it's majorly I'm talking about developing the new functionalities and all. And anyway, in a SaaS model also you can go and develop the reports. Since there is no much dependency for technical resource and fusion projects. Okay, so even the companies also what they are doing is, what technique they are playing is, they are taking the functional resource only. So even the reporting and all, they given BA reporting they given in the fusion applications, which is very friendly and which is a very powerful reporting. Okay, so that is the reason that in the project, just simple hint functional people are getting, just get ready with a BI publisher also. So we don't require any technical thing. If you know some basic SQL and PL SQL, you'll be able to create the BI reports. You don't depend on technical people. It's all about drag and drop kind of option, and it's a very friendly preparation is possible through BI reporting and all. So that job also technical functional people only doing. So there is no other job left for technical people to be part of fusion implementations. If at all the client is going to get, I mean, with integrations and all, but the integrations also there is no much task is required. And maybe in admin side, I mean, middleware side, when you say middleware, it's not like in the middleware we have many components. Out of those components, those components can be used other than fusion applications also. In such kind of components, say BPM, business process management, they can get trained on BPM, they may work only on that. And otherwise IDM technical consultants, some companies will be looking for IDM or say OEM consultants also, who are more into some security aspects, developments, etc. They'll look into that. That is the reason, like here other parties for technical people left is ADF forms development, so which is not possible in SaaS model. But nowadays you can see more than 90% of clients are opting SaaS model only as a part of cloud solution. Since they're because what Oracle it is, you should not think as these Oracle taken whatever you have in EBS. Since they owned many products, since they acquired many products from different products, what are the best features out of that they acquired, they taken into fusion financials also. The best features, which are even small features also, they taken into selected product families. And whatever the, I mean, there are certain features which you don't see in the market in any product. That kind of solutions also you can find as a new standard. I mean, new features only in our fusion application. In that way, you can find it. So For technical people, so ADF, the ADF they can work on if client is opting pass model only. You will see very less clients, very less clients who are running their system with the pass model. Most of the clients are on SaaS. Reason, because we have a good improvements and some additional features which can run the every most of the kind of industry or most of the sectors related business processes in our Fusion environment. So most of the clients are going with the cloud, that to SaaS model. So since the SaaS, if is there an implementation, hardly they require technical people, functional people only, not technical resource. So that is the reason almost technical people are just moving in functional side. Even I have that experience in our trainings. Many people just taken the training to switch into functional side and finance. So that's a point I want to share with you guys. Okay, done. So that's all about today's session. If you have any questions on this, you can ask me. We'll have a quick discussion, then we can wind up the session. Any questions? Possible you can ask me by unmuting yourself. Okay, I have somebody posted this in the chat window. 1 second, let me go through it. So if you don't have any background noise, better you can ask me so that it will be quickly. You can ask detail level. I can speak about the same. Thanks for the session. Okay. Is there any classroom training also available with a combination of artful and fusion? No, classroom we have classroom trainings, but it's a location constraints. We run here in Hyderabad. That too only artful fusion. We don't run classroom training. Everything we do online only. See, this is what I planned. What would be really good information for the people who are thinking or who are planning, who are really ready to get into the fusion. To give you some overview and basic level of understanding, these are the bullet points I taken for today's discussion. And apart from that, if you want to understand any other aspects, you can ask me. Anything. This is how, that is how, just anything, just we can discuss. Thanks, Ahmad. Okay, here, what is the question? I think already I got it. So what all technical consultants do if they don't have job? Oh, I think that is already answered. I'm not saying, see, I'm not saying straight away what there is no job for technical people. Really, if they want stay back in technical side only, okay, they have to learn ADF, they have to learn some middleware tools, but scope of getting job is very less. Reason, the scope of SaaS model of implementations are very high. The PaaS model of implementations are very less. That's it. Okay. When you say technical person, what they can learn? They can learn ADF, they can learn BI, they can learn some middleware technologies. But in the current implementations, that BI and even some consultants to be in the first row, they are learning ADF also. The people who are working as a functional, okay, finance functional or any other functional, they are learning ADF. It's not a great job. Great. I mean, it's not a tough to learn. A simple thing. So just they're learning and just they're rocking. That's all. And here, thanks, Harish. Without learning Auto, can we manage fusion? Yeah, good question. So yes, because this question I expect this maybe from technical person. If you don't have any knowledge of Auto, literally I don't suggest this course for you, because so minimum to minimum we require basic knowledge to start with the fusion. If you say you are working as a techno functional or technical, it won't become big challenge after attending these classes to get into the implementation project to work as a functional consultant. And of course, since you are into market, you will be having good contact with your colleagues or friends who are working functional side. You may take support from them to go through some documentation, etc., which happens in real time. So with that kind of effort you'll be able to work on that. If you don't have any knowledge on R12, 100% I don't recommend this. Okay, so that's how it works. And fine. Other question is, do we require knowledge on Hyperion if we want to? Oh, no, no, no. You no need to learn Hyperion separately. It's a simple, some small feature, simple feature, which you have. Just you can explore and you can do it. I'll provide you required documents for Hyperion related. You can go through it. There will be detailed explanation. After going through those documents, just will become expert in Hyperion, which is part of our fusion. That's what. It's not like complete Hyperion product, which is really where we will be working in our environment. In that area, will be really good enough. And other question, I like the way you built agenda for the, okay, thanks Karthik, thank you so much. And other question is, I'm having knowledge on AP and slight on 11A GL. Suresh, this may not be enough, because nowadays, see here, if you have knowledge on GL and AP, that too it's almost outdated version of 11i. But minimum if you have in R12, even in that case also I won't say okay you can good, it's good to go ahead. So I cannot say that because nowadays market became very competitive. If you say you know GL, APR, CMFA, still sometimes we'll hear from the panel or interview guys, still do have knowledge or experience on other areas also. That those are the expectations in the market, because there should be good flexibility to utilize their resource. That is the reason the companies are the people are, I mean, companies are expecting to have a candidates with a good skill set. So if you have only knowledge or experience on AP and GL, it's not enough. In your case, I may recommend you can get trained on release 12, because see it's not like hurry will learn fusion some wonders will happen. That won't happen. We should get into anywhere with a good product knowledge. If you are not aware of that, it may takes 2 months time to learn this R12. Then once you are okay with R12, learning fusion is just cakewalk. Now the same will happen for the guys who are going to learn. Okay, it's a simple, like just you'll be just observing what I am doing, and of course you'll be having some questions, and of course I'll be talking about something else which you are not aware of, how things can be done and all. That will be there. If you are not good enough, or if you don't have a kind of very basic knowledge on all the financial applications, I recommend you to go through R12 training. Then you can learn this fusion. Okay, that would be the best thing which you can do, or which I can suggest. Okay, that's all about answer to Suresh. And I have a question from Harish. I'm in Muscat tomorrow, working day for me. Will there be any chance the session time for Sunday? See, the guys, see, for this kind of flexibility only, the guy is just he's asking, he's in Muscat, and we are following Indian weekends, etc. Indian weekends. So that is the reason. Just I mean, in that case, you don't need to worry about it. See, we'll be running the classes Monday, Saturday, and Sunday, and every session we record and will share with the candidate who are attending. Will be sharing. If you by any chance, because of your work or because of any personal reason, if you are going to miss the session, you no need to worry about it. We'll be sharing the recorded video. You can go through it thoroughly. When you are going through that video offline, you can make a note if you have any questions. I'll be available through mail to reply to your queries or doubts or anything. And really, if required any communication, I'll be available to have one-on-one call to discuss about your doubts. Okay, since you are subscribing this, it's not like just I am promising I'll do it. Okay, that's how we can do it. Okay, that is the reason we just we are following this practice, where every session will record and will be sharing with you. Okay, this is what we have. And we have other option also. We do provide self-paced videos. If you are the person like where you have very busy schedules, still you want to learn, you can buy self-paced videos from us. And the self-paced videos we covered very detailed level. It's all about 58 hours. 58 hours we have self-paced videos with the same course content, whatever I'm going to cover, 58 hours. Now this course, this whatever we are doing now, hardly will be getting around 45 hours. That depends on your question. But the self-paced videos, by considering other points where the people who are from technical background and the people who has worked as end users, by considering all these points, I bit detail level I explained. that videos, the people who are working, they may not like it. It's not like, see what I touch when I'm doing some configuration, I explain what is the purpose of configuration. When I'm doing the process, the background, I explain what is the purpose this process can be done, in which scenario it can be done. That's how bit detail I taken. That is the reason there was some extra mileage of 10 plus hours. There will be difference between 10 hours between these live sessions and that self-paced videos. For that purpose, I just bit detail level explain. Here also I'll be explaining. I'm not saying I don't explain. I'll be explaining, but here just I'll be expecting you know already R12 or 11i product knowledge. On that base, I'll be explaining. If you have any questions, you can ask me. We can discuss. Not an issue. Okay, that's all about to answer your question. And Suresh, thank you. Okay, fine. Just thanks. Great, thanks, Praveen. What would be the future growth in compared to R12? See here, good question. It's a very valid and very important question you ask. First of all, thanks for that, Praveen. See here, when I talk about growth and all now, almost all upcoming projects are going to be fusion projects only. The projects which are on pipeline, the projects already very recently started, all are fusion projects. And the projects, almost 90%, more than 90% of projects are running on EBS, since that is there in the market from years and years. So the clients who already implemented, they'll continue with the fusion only. Okay, and you may see few clients. I heard one or two clients who are moving from R12 to fusion. Again, it's going to be re-implementation on fusion. You should not call it a fresh implementation. So they are going. It's happening. I guess the client implemented R12 or R12 long back. That could be a reason. But recent implementations, whatever happened, those clients simply they cannot switch to fusion because they can see their investments and other things. So what are the projects already delivered? Those projects definitely the clients will be running at least for a minimum amount of time on R12 to immediately they cannot switch because of their investments which already they done. And some clients you can see who has a global operations, they'll be going phase by phase implementation. There will be a lot of complexity in their business process, many customizations, many developments they'll be doing. Because of that reason, it's not easy for them simply to switch into fusion. That's the reason they'll be continuing with rest of countries or rest of operations related implementation on R12 only. Still, we know some clients are running on 11i only. They'll be running on 11i. They may get hope to switch into fusion. Let's see that. That is the other point. But if you learn this fusion, if you have a fusion skill set, definitely you will have a great demand in the market. The less people has a skill on fusion applications. Frankly speaking, there are less openings, but openings may be less as per demand. Those are very high. Okay, there may be need of, say for example, in this month, say in India, there may be need of 100 fusion financial consultant, but in India, fusion financial consultant availability may be max 20 or 30, but requirement is 100. But when you compare with the R12 financial consultant, demand may be in India 200 as of for now. That's it. But fusion only 100. Okay, I can say 500 for fusion R12 financials, 100 for fusion financials. Let me take that figures. So that number may be for now, but in future the number drastically it is going to be changed. Every R12 consultant should learn fusion to get into that. That's it. Yeah, already market is rising like anything in US and UK, and even you can see in India also the many. But for now there is no solution for Indian clients because the taxation part is not yet ready. That is the reason no Indian clients can use this fusion product, only for US and other countries, because since which countries will have the solution with EB tax, e-business tax in R12, and the same in fusion we call as fusion tax. Okay, for which country that taxation can be done with fusion tax or EBT, those clients can opt the solution. For those countries the solution is available, and other parties for in which countries tax is not there anyway, without any doubt they can proceed with the fusion applications. Okay, these are the points. Even in India also you can see many openings, but not happening for Indian clients. Like many consulting companies, they'll be hiring for their clients, and since they have many offshore development centers to support from offshore, they're doing that. Yes, Karthik, correct. R12 implementations now drastically came down. Yep. Only support project. Yes, you are right. Any other questions, please? Okay. Seems to no question. Okay. I believe that everybody enjoyed this session. Since I tried my level best to share my knowledge, and if you are expecting something else, definitely I'll try to get for you to share with you. That is for sure. Okay. Don't think it will be limited up to my knowledge I'll be sharing. If you need some information, you can ask me. If that is out of my knowledge, I have a good source to get the information. The same I'll be sharing with you. You don't have to worry about it. Another promise I can do, and if you just after this training, see in this training we'll share all the videos. I'll explain detail level each and everything. I am ready to answer all the questions. I request you people to post the questions. I'll be very happy to answer. And other point is I'll be sharing some documentation which will be covering the complete financial configuration apart from our course. I mean, more than our course content. Okay, and our course content will be covering certain things which are very key, which you really require to get into the implementation to start working. Anyway, in anything you learn, you have to explore something. For that, I'll be providing the document, and I'll be providing some documentation for this IPN reporting, because Oracle replaced this FSZ with IPN reporting, financial reporting studio, FRS we call. FSZ changed to FRS, okay, with Hyperion tool, which is a very good reporting tool. And we'll provide the instance access for 3 months. And if at all you require instance access more than that, since you are a busy person, you cannot spend time in the weekends also. In that case, we can understand your need and we can extend the time from 3 months to more than whatever. We'll discuss that, not an issue. There won't be any additional charges. I'm telling online the same. Okay, I'm not going to do offline business. I'm not going to do with you. Okay, just if required, we'll extend it. Why we are giving only for 3 months? 3 months is more than enough for the guys who has already EBS product knowledge. Just they have to refresh after attending these classes one time. They have to run through this hands-on practice. That is the reason. And I got a few more questions meantime. How many months it takes Fusion implementation? See, it depends. See, if I ask the question, how many months it takes R12 implementation, whatever the answer you are going to give, the same answer I have. That all depends. Depends on client, business process, and their vertical of businesses and the complexity of business. You are going to implement for one country or multiple countries within one country, big client, small client, complex business, vanilla implementation. That many parameters are there to decide. So that would be my answer. And second question is, can we continue the session for 2 hours, please? It's more than 2 hours already. Because see, I plan for a demo. I don't want to cut the time to close within the 2 hours. Whatever, just really good information I wanted to share, frankly speaking, I didn't see the time. I'm sorry for that. We'll be running for 2 hours only. We'll fix it. In our regular sessions. Done. We'll do that. And it depends upon timelines set by client generally. Yeah, correct, Karthik. Yes, you are trying to answer to Praveen question. Yes, that depends on many factors. Suppose R2 takes 1 year, what would be Fusion? Less than, I can say 6 months or 7 months. That's it. Okay, you can cut down the time with big difference. Any other questions? Thanks, Praveen. Fine, if you want to go through this video once again, and if you want to refer to your friends or colleagues or someone, okay, where you think it will be good information for them, you can share this video with them. I'll be uploading this video in the YouTube, and to subscribe or to share or to browse this video, you can type in the YouTube. Okay, see, I'll just type just with ERPTREE. I'm just typing in Google itself. You can see our video, but not this video. This is not yet uploaded. You can see that. Just if you type ERPTREE, you can find our video. And yeah, I'm sorry, the voice is on. Okay, just you can, or else if you're finding from YouTube, just type ERPTREE. You'll be finding all our videos in this list. Definitely you can find this current running demo maybe within half an hour. Within 1 hour. After 1 hour I'll be uploading. You can find this. You can, if required, you can go through it, or you can share with somebody. You can refer to someone. Okay, Okay, that's all from my side for today. If you have any other questions, you can ask me, or else we can wind up the session. It's already late for a few guys. We scheduled for just 2 hours. We're running more than 2 hours time. Okay, done. No questions. Okay, thanks for everyone. Thanks for joining the session. Thanks for choosing demo from ERPTREE.com. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, have a good day and good night, respectively. Done.